Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode in the XY Spark podcast. This is your boy, your men's life coach and psychotherapist, Rolando. And I'm just here one more day. It is a Monday. It is Motivation Monday. I hope that you guys all had a fantastic weekend. I hope that your weekend was as eventful as it could have been, but the thing that I wanted to just start off our Monday morning Motivation Monday series with is gratitude. And I want to say I am grateful to be here one more day, to connect with you, and to see you showing up as we continue to celebrate the joy of being above sod. So, wherever you're joining us from this morning, we want to say thank you so much for being here. This is the XY Spark podcast, the podcast for men, where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health. Why? Because we know that mental health is not a myth, and none of us as men are not immune to being impacted negatively by mental health. And so, our goal and our aim is to seek to create a safe space where, as men, we can continue to have conversations about how we can pay more attention to our mental health as men. I also wanted to acknowledge all the women who are a part of the XY Spark tribe because I acknowledge you. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And we see that you two are you two are concerned and you two want to see the men in your life be healthy men, be men who are grounded, men who are connected, and men who are making their mental health a priority. We also wanted to let you guys know that the XY Spark podcast is a podcast that is here live weekday mornings at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you are around the planet, if this is your first time, welcome to the podcast. Where have you been all this time? But you know what? I hope to see you again in here every single morning at 5:30 a.m. You can also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on Spotify, we're on Podbean, we're on Amazon, we're on iHeartRadio. We are wherever. You can find more reels and more clips on our Instagram page. You can find it here on our TikTok feed. And also, please follow us, subscribe, comment and share our podcast. So today the theme that we are looking, or theme or caption rather today, is Motivation Monday. And we are looking at the theme, how to be your authentic self in a fake world, in a fake society. How to be your authentic self. Because one of the things, guys, that I've noticed as a psychotherapist and men's coach is that so many men are not sure who they are. So many men are still trying to find themselves. You may be in your teens, you may be in your 20s, you may be in your 30s, you may be in your 40s, you may even be in your 50s. And I've noticed that there are so many men who are still not sure who they are. They're still trying to find themselves. There are a lot of men who they are working so hard to try to be somebody that they're not, and they have not yet connected with who they really are. So, our conversation this morning is going to be talking about how to be your authentic self in a fake society, in a fake world. When we look in school, in high school, there are a lot of kids who, they are not being true to themselves. They are trying too hard. They're overcompensating a lot. But when you look in workplaces, there are a lot of men who don't know who they are also. So they overcompensate in the workplace and they compromise their values and their standards because they're trying to be somebody that they're not. So today we want to talk about how to be your authentic self. sending a shout out to you there on TikTok. This is your first time. Hey, morning, welcome. Please type in the chat where you're joining us from. We value your presence. Thank you so much, right? And I want to really encourage you to continue, right? One of our listeners here saying, hey, they don't do much to have a bit of family. They are not themselves. And listen, I appreciate this is one of my I want to say my popular followers, and he's here as often as he can, and he said, hey, he is seen even as someone who think he's in high school or he's in school. I'm not sure it's high school or college, but he said, hey, Rolando, there are a lot of persons that I see where they are not themselves. They're not themselves, right? They are really faking it a lot. And yes, and some persons say, hey, fake it till you make it. But if you're faking somebody else or trying to be somebody that you're not, is that where you want to stay stuck? All right, because the reality of it is, when you're going out in the community and you're trying so hard and you're working so hard and being fake, what do you do when you're not on stage anymore? When you're not on the stage of the community, when you're not on the stage where you're at school, when you're not on the stage, when all the headlights are not on you, or the show lights are not on you. Who are you? Who are you when you go home, when the door is closed? Who are you when you're not out with friends? Who are you when you're home by yourself? All right. Are you that guy who, when you're going out, you wear a lot of makeup? When I say makeup, I mean you wear a fake identity, a fake persona. When you show up, you're not showing up being who you are when you're at home. You're showing up seeking to be somebody that you're not. And so we want to talk about how to celebrate your authenticity in a fake world. Being authentic is vital for you if you want to preserve your mental health and wellness. Can I say that to you one more time? Being authentic is vital if you want to preserve your mental health and wellness. To be authentic requires three important foundational principles. And this morning, we're going to talk about those principles. All right. And I want us to please feel free to comment in the chat. All right. So, to be authentic, guys, it requires three very, very important things that we're going to talk about today. All right. Number one is this, is that if you are going to be authentic, right, you have to practice self awareness. Being authentic means practicing self awareness. You may ask, Rolando, what is that and how do I do that? And self awareness is something that we have to learn how to practice, because it is in practicing self awareness that we are able to ask ourselves these questions. Number one is, to practice self awareness means to pay attention to my stress level, paying attention to my stress level. Now, there are many of us as men who we have a high stress tolerance. So when we are stressed, we don't even know it. We don't even know what stress feels like. Some of us as men, we are carrying the symptoms of stress in our bodies without even knowing it. How do you know sometimes that you're stressed? If your sleep is inconsistent, it could be symptoms or signs that you're stressed. If your body have excessive aches and pains, like shoulders being tight, your body could be undergoing stress. If you're having severe headaches or headaches that are on and off, your body could be stressed. If you find that you're a bit more anxious than normal, you're not motivated, you're not driven, you are not grounded, you are not in that space where you're able to relax any at all. You feel like you always need to be going somewhere, doing something, moving about. Your body could be stressed. If you're on edge more frequent than norm, means that you fly off the handle than you normally would, or you fly off the handle a lot. And not that I'm saying, hey, it's okay to fly off the handle, but if you find that your temperament is a lot, you're a lot less tolerant than you normally were, you could be undergoing stress. But some of us as men, because we have this high stress tolerance, we don't know when we are stressed and we keep going until we crash. All right. So self awareness is paying attention knowing when we're stressed. The next one is self awareness is to pay attention to our thoughts. And oftentimes, as men, we tend to not focus too much on thoughts. Sometimes I say to guys, hey, well, what are you thinking right now? Or what's going on with you? And sometimes you the person, man, I really don't know. Or hey, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. So we resort to isolating in shutting down. So we don't want to talk about it. But understanding this, that if you are going to practice self awareness, it's paying attention to your stress levels, it's paying attention to your thoughts. Your thoughts. Okay. And when you pay attention to your thoughts, is key. Now, I want to encourage all those who are listening now, if you're live on TikTok, on YouTube, please share this with your network. Share this podcast with your network. Guys, we are here at the podcast and we're saying we are passionate about men's mental health and wellness. We're passionate about the mental health and wellness of our boys who are in high school, of our men who are in college. You may be studying law or engineering or medicine. You may be studying the trades. I'm saying that you have to be more mindful about practicing and being your authentic self. Here is the next thing. We're talking about self awareness. So, we talk about being mindful of your stress levels. We're talking about being aware of your thoughts. We're also talking about being conscious of your emotions. And as men, if we are going to celebrate our authenticity, we have got to practice these key elements as it relates to being self aware. Right? That's what we're talking about, self awareness. And we're talking about the nuts and bolts now that's going to help us to practice self awareness. Number one, we talked about be in tune with your and understanding your stress level. Number two, we talk about being conscious of your thoughts. Number three is your emotions. All right. And as men, we tend to avoid anything emotional or to avoid talking about emotions like the plague. Because some of us as men, we have already decided or we have told ourselves that if I feel anything, then I'm not man, because a man is not supposed to feel. A man is not supposed to be emotional. A man is not supposed to talk about emotions. But I'm saying that self awareness and practicing your authenticity means talking about your emotions. So, what are you feeling? What thoughts are you having right now? Where are you right now emotionally? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling discouraged? Are you feeling annoyed? What are you feeling right now? Are you feeling lack of motivation? What emotion are you feeling right now? The next piece, guys, about self awareness is paying attention to what you believe, your belief system. Being authentic means having a belief system, knowing what you believe. What are your non negotiables? What are those things that's important to you? A guy that is not authentic, he is a guy who lives his life in sort of where anything goes. There are no boundaries, there are no expectations, there is nothing that you stand for. You are that guy who, whichever direction the wind is blowing, you're going to go with it, right? You don't have the mentality of, say, for example, the salmon who is able to push against the current, push against the wave and get to its destination. No, you're that guy who, in the stream of life, you live your life as if to say you are the dried up leaves in society. So whichever way the stream is going, it just takes you there and you just jump on and say, hey, I'm going for the ride. That's not being authentic. Being authentic is recognizing that, hey, the stream is not flowing in the direction that I want to go. It's not going to help me to grow. It's not a good fit for me. So this is where I get off. Being authentic is knowing when to get off, is setting boundaries, and is recognizing that being authentic oftentimes means you're going to have to be okay to go and create new path that's going to get you to your destination. And that's a part of your responsibility. And preserving your mental health and wellness as a man means being mindful of this reality that I have got to be true to myself, be authentic, and recognize and understand that when I am being authentic, here's the piece, guys, you're going to be judged, right? You're going to be looked at as, hey, does he think he's better than us? And I'm not saying being authentic is going on that ego trip. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being true to yourself and embracing who you are and stop feeling like you have to match up or meet the expectations of the crowd, right? Right? So it says, going in the wrong direction. I'm reading one of my live person's quote here. Going in the wrong direction might be the right path, just more harder to go through. Thank you. That's such a powerful point. Thank you for sharing your thoughts here on the live podcast. So we've got to learn to be authentic, guys. And we have got to wrap our heads around that reality that that is one thing that we don't fail at so easily, being true to ourselves. But then there's also the piece around being mindful. Mindfulness is an important part of being authentic. And being mindful now puts us in that place to ask certain questions. What am I thinking in this moment? What am I feeling in this moment? What do I need in this moment that's going to help me to feel and be more comfortable with myself? So, what am I thinking? So, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to what you're feeling. I'm saying this to you guys. Listen, I'm talking to you right now. Men, I'm speaking to you. If you're here on TikTok, I'm speaking to you. If you're here on the YouTube channel, I'm speaking to you. If you're joining us live on the podcast, I'm speaking to you right now. As a man, I'm saying this to you. Stop telling yourself that it's not okay for you to feel. It's okay. Feel. Be in touch with your feelings. Be in touch with your emotions. It's okay. It is not a weakness. It is not a flaw. It is not something that you should be scared of or ashamed of. It's something that you should be proud of. It's something that you should be able to say as a man, hey, I'm starting to feel again. And guess what? It feels good. So it feels good to feel. Because it is when you allow yourself to feel that you will start to heal. Can I say that again? I say, as men, it feels good to feel because it is when we allow ourselves to feel that we'll start to heal. That is my quote of the day. And I want you to wrap your heads around this reality that as a man, being authentically you means feeling and recognizing that it's okay to feel because it is through feeling that we can experience and will experience healing. All right. So number one, to celebrating your authenticity is to do what? Practice self awareness. Number two is to do what? Is to be mindful. And number three, guys, and we're almost out of time, is self acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are. Stop comparing yourself to the guy in class or the guy at work or the neighbor. No, be true to yourself. Accept yourself for who you are Accept yourself for the height that you have. Accept yourself for the look that you have. Accept yourself for the color of your skin. Accept yourself for how your hair is, whether you're bald headed or bushy headed. It does not matter. Embrace who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Spend time to nurture who you are as a person. And if you are struggling with your self worth and struggling with your self esteem and trying to find yourself, then connect with someone who can work with you to discover the essence of what it means to be authentically you. This is your boy, your men's life coach, Rolando. We are at the end of another episode of the XY Spark podcast. Please join us again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we will continue to have more conversations about men's mental health and wellness. If you're live on the podcast on TikTok, thank you for being here. If you're live on YouTube, thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you again. And just before we go, I just wanted to remind you that at XY Spark, we believe that there is a spark in you. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you again next time.